Good morning everyone and welcome to another Art of Crypto video. Today's markets haven't really moved much, maybe about 0.5% to 3%. As you can see here, Bitcoin is down by 0.81% in the last 24 hours, while Ethereum saw an almost 4% jump in the same time period. However, in the last 7 days, Bitcoin has seen an increase in its price by almost 12%, but the real winner here is Ethereum. Whoever invested in Ethereum when it was $1,000 is making a hefty 50% profit. It's now standing at $1,554, which is a 45% jump from last week. The rest of the market is doing pretty well in the last 7 days. BNB up by 17%, your big dog Solana by 34%, Cardano by 12%, and Polkadot by 20%. And yesterday, the global crypto market cap was 1.1 trillion. Today is back down to 1.01 trillion, which isn't a massive drop. As long as it's standing above the $1 trillion mark, we are in a mini bull run. We are still in a crypto winter. We are still in a bear market in general, but time to time we get these mini sort of bull runs where we see the price of cryptocurrencies shooting up like we see now. A couple of weeks ago it was 18,000, now it's 22,000. So the markets are quite volatile. There is still a lot of risk being priced into the market, not only economic, but geopolitical and social as well. And with the heat waves affecting Europe and parts of China as well, we are seeing the possibility of food becoming more expensive and inflation accelerating, which would cause the price of cryptocurrencies to drop. But at the moment, it's holding up pretty well. The dominance is still Bitcoin plus Ethereum, still 60% of the entire market. However, this is slowly dropping and we're seeing more diversification, which is a good sign, which is a sign that risk is exiting the market. In terms of the price of Bitcoin, it's still standing strong at the $22,000 now support level. We saw a massive drop from 22,600 to 21,300, but this was soon bought up by the bulls and it went up right away to where it was before. And whoever made this trade made a lot of money. At the same time, whoever shorted at this point also made a lot of money. But if you look here, if you look at this general picture itself, in the last day or so, we are seeing the price stabilized at 22,000. And in my opinion, it will continue trading this way until something drastic happens, either positively pushing the price up or negatively pushing the prices down. Three Arrows Capital, which is now Bankrupt, owes $3.5 billion to creditors, and 80% of that, or 2.3 billion, is to Genesis Global Trading, which is a lender. So this 3.5 billion is owed to 27 different companies, which includes big companies such as Blockchain.com, Voyager Digital, and previously mentioned Genesis Global Trading. And Three Arrows Capital, they knew that they had no money and they failed to repay their loans and missed multiple margin calls with lenders. And this means that investment accounts fell below required levels and were not topped up. And that's why these trading positions were closed and they were forced to go into bankruptcy due to lack of liquidity and because of insolvency. So Blockchain.com's chief strategy officer, Charles Magaro, and remember, Blockchain is a company that was owed money by Three Arrows Capital. He revealed that Three Arrows Capital co-founder Kyle Davis told him on the 13th of June, which is about a month ago, that Davis tried to borrow another 5,000 Bitcoin from Genesis, which at the time had a value of about $125 million. And the main aim of this $125 million loan was to pay a margin call to another lender. And this is a massive red flag because such behavior is common with a Ponzi scheme. And basically what happens in a Ponzi scheme is that earlier investors are paid with funds from newer investors, and this creates a cycle of older investors being paid with money from newer investors, and this is unsustainable in the long run. If they cannot find new investors or if they cannot find a new source of money, then the whole pyramid collapses and everyone in that pyramid loses money, which happened here. So this is a massive red flag. Another red flag is that the bankruptcy filings detail various real estate investments held under the names of Three Arrows Capital co-founder Su Zhu's child and wife, such as 2 residences in Singapore, which were worth a combined $78 million. And at this stage, it's unclear how the assets of the company were dealt with by its founders and whether the assets of the company were used towards the purchases that they have been making. They also argued that the founders of the clearly insolvent company, Three Arrows Capital, should not be allowed to deal with what may be the assets of the company. So it's really unclear where the funds went. It's really unclear what they did with the funds. And it's obvious that the loans weren't repaid despite the fact that they had a lot of money at hand in terms of personal cash. And it's unclear whether this was brought in from Three Arrows Capital's balance sheet or it's from their own income. But it is a red flag nonetheless. And remember, Three Arrows Capital's trouble started when Do Kwon's infamous Terra blockchain crashed, which caused a chain reaction of liquidations, bankruptcies, and financial troubles across the industry. And this was due to the fact that a lot of companies were exposed to Terra's stablecoin, UST. And when UST went bust, all that money went away. So per liquidation document, Three Arrows Capital lost roughly $200 million from the UST's destabilization from the $1 peg. But $200 million compared to almost $3.5 billion isn't that massive. So I don't understand where the rest of the money is, and I'm not really sure why they went bankrupt, despite the fact that there was so much capital roaming around and a lot of that, or most of that, was liquid. Dubai is set to ramp up its metaverse efforts with 40,000 new jobs. So Dubai launches the Dubai Metaverse strategy that aims to turn it into one of the top 10 metaverse economies in the world. And this metaverse strategy promotes Dubai's ambition to support more than 40,000 virtual jobs by the year 2030. Al Maktoum, the ruler of Dubai, hopes to transform the Emirates into a global tech capital, focusing primarily on AI and Web3. And the strategy supports that and will include research and development collaborations to enhance the metaverse's economic contributions, utilizing accelerators as well as incubators to attract companies and projects from abroad, and providing support in metaverse education aimed at developers, content creators, and users of digital platforms in the metaverse industry. And not only are they going to develop the metaverse industry and the crypto industry in general, but they're going to immerse it and they're going to combine it with other areas of the economy, such as tourism, education, retail, remote work, healthcare, and the legal sector. So slowly, blockchain will make its way into these sectors and the economy will be sort of digitized in a greater scale than the rest of the world. And for example, VR and AR have created 6,700 jobs and contributed $500 million to the UAE's economy. And the global value of venture capital and private equity financing the metaverse reached $13 billion in 2021. And this is a massive amount of money, and the Emirate rightly wants to capitalize on it. And because they have very relaxed and very crypto-friendly laws, I think a lot of metaverse jobs and a lot of metaverse companies will flood into the Emirates, which is a fantastic sign. It's putting itself out there to make itself a leader in the metaverse and in crypto by extent. So Paraguay is one step closer to becoming a paradise for Bitcoin miners. Paraguay's legislature has approved a bill that creates a tax and regulatory framework for crypto mining in the country. The Senate bill regulates business undertaking mining activities in the Bitcoin-friendly nation. As we know, Paraguay is very crypto-friendly, and it's becoming even friendlier. Mining will need to be authorized by the MIC, which is the Minister of Industry and Commerce, while the National Electricity Administration will be in charge of energy supply. It also adds that the Secretariat for the Prevention of Money or Asset Laundering will supervise the buying of machinery by crypto companies. So there is a very comprehensive regulatory framework that is being put into place and will become law, and all of these government agencies will work together to ensure that the crypto industry works very fluidly and very well. Also, Paraguay is an increasingly attractive country for crypto, which is a bonus because there is a lot of cheap and green electricity, and lawmakers are going to take advantage of this to make it a crypto hub. For example, Canadian mining giant Bitfarms announced last year that it was expanding to Paraguay on a 5-year lease with an annually renewable power purchase agreement to secure 10 megawatts of green hydropower. So all of their operations in the country is going to be fully green, which is a massive step in removing the stigma surrounding Bitcoin mining, that it's very energy intensive and by extent it's very dirty because a lot of it is done through non-renewable energy. So a lot of new Bitcoin mining operations are going to be using renewable energy. And with that, we come to the end of today's video. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, hit the subscribe button, and share this video with your family and friends. Invest wisely, and cheers.